welcome to the Michelin MX Nationals Motocross Series. This series sees riders from the youth classes in our 85cc classes all the way through to our adult clubman riders racing on the same weekend at the same track as our professional riders. Now in its third year, the series continues to grow, and for 2016 the series has been fully subscribed with full race gates in all classes. The series visits some of the UK's top motocross circuits, and here at round one we start things off at the demanding Preston Dock circuit on the outskirts of Preston in Lancashire. Join me, Chris Sora, as we get the first round underway. We start with our MXN GAERNE small wheel 85cc riders into the first corner, and that could be Bobby Bruce possibly with the whole shot as they leave, but there's trouble on the first corner. And we saw number 7 there was one of the riders in trouble there. Louis Castle, one of our front runners, but I Carter 117 got the whole shot. We saw that accident on the first corner. Louis Castle involved, and also number 4 in there, Kieran Thomas as well. So some of the front runners in trouble early on in this moto. But I Carter getting the lead from Bobby Bruce, also well placed. Taking lead early on from Bruce, and I Carter really starting to charge away as we go into the first few laps of the race. Ike Carter looking very strong indeed. Bobby Bruce, Ollie Davison, Dylan Woodall also well placed. And you can see on some of these camera angles just how tough and gnarly the Preston Dock circuit is. It was under 3 inches of snow on the Friday before this meeting. A lot of hard work went into the track from the Preston Docks crew, and also the MX Nationals team to get the track even rideable in the first place. But very, very wet off the track. The track, however, itself, the circuit, in perfect condition, as Ike Carter still leads them around, it looks like. Bobby Bruce keeping him in check in second place. They go along that top veranda past the GAERNE banners, and it's very, very gnarly indeed. You can see one rider in a bit of trouble near the back of the field, but Ike Carter starting to close up on the back markers, and that looks very much like it's still Bobby Bruce, the whole shot man, in second place as they go flying over the tabletop. And you can see the drone footage there showing just some of the standing water on the side of the track. A lot of water was cleared from the track, dried away in the lead up to this event. And as you said earlier, the track is in perfect condition, but some very difficult conditions for the riders. Very cold indeed as well. Certainly is a tough opener to the season, but there's been some fantastic racing in this small 85cc class. Ike Carter at the moment emerging as the top rider in this opening round, and now starting to get well and truly amongst the back markers. Looking at some of the other riders well placed at the moment: Drew McQueen, David Grayson, Brad Nolan, Jack Lindsay, Vinnie Guthrie, Matt Tolley, and Louis Kessler we saw fall on the first lap on the first corner, starting to pick his way through the field as he approaches the top 10. Kieran Thomas, meanwhile, I think he's injured himself possibly in that race. Let's hope he's okay, but dropping out of the race early along with Dylan Kitto, who's also out of the reckoning. As we saw 313 Joshua Keogh going through there towards the back of the field at the moment, but still charging away and coping well with these very difficult conditions. Here's Ike Carter once again, number 117. But just in his set, a small mistake there from Carter, but doesn't lose too much ground, as shadowing him in second place at the moment, Bobby Bruce still keeping the pressure on in second place. You can see just how tough and sandy it is for these small 85cc machines. The youngest riders, of course, in the MX Nationals. One rider in a bit of trouble on the sidelines there, but gets back into the action as Carter rails the berm around the outside to get past the back marker, keeps the momentum as Bruce has a look down the inside, but very, very close indeed. Couldn't quite get alongside him. He's trying to run along the top veranda, but we didn't see him make the pass there. And Ike Carter holds on to the lead as the midfield riders do battle around this course. We've seen a full weekend of racing here, and the track looking very tricky in places, especially for these younger riders. Really is a typical sand track, reminiscent of the Honda Park circuit in Belgium in the way it cuts up as they go past the finish line. Once again, that looks like Ike Carter still leading the way. There he goes past the RFX pit area, with Bobby Bruce just on his tail, keeping the pressure on in second place. Bobby Bruce doing all he can to try and force Carter into a mistake, but Carter controlling the race well at the front as we go into these closing few laps. And again, you can see just the amount of standing water. That was the snow that was on the track, of course, on the Friday before this meeting. Really is a testament to the track crews here that we've even got this meeting on in the first place, but rewarded with some fantastic racing as Ike Carter still leads the way. You can see the fluorescent jersey there of the second place rider, Bobby Bruce. Yellow flag zone up there. Looks like a rider in trouble on the side of the course, but the rider okay as Carter again goes down the inside of another back marker, really starting to pull away now from Bobby Bruce. Bruce still keeping the pressure on in second place, but not quite close enough at the moment to catch up with Ike Carter, and Carter now with a clear track in front of him. as he looks to close in on victory the last couple laps of the race now. And Ike Carter took the overall victory over the weekend from Bobby Bruce, Louis Kessel, Dylan Woodall and David Grayson. During the season, we will follow the fortunes of 3 of our riders in the MX Nationals Series, and we start things off in the big wheel 85cc class with Joel RIZZI. And Joel is the son of Tino RIZZI, a former youth rider himself and top amateur rider, but Joel now making his mark in the sport in the big wheel 85cc class aboard his RFX KTM. So let's join Joel as he talks about his preparations for 2016 and his weekend so far.
Yeah, my weekend's gone good this weekend. First race I got first. Came from a bad start to first, and the second race another bad start. I was in second and then just dropped to third. Good. And then on Sunday got a start and just ran away and got first. So hopefully another win in the second race to get the overall. Yeah, I've been training hard with the lads, RFX KTM lads, RMJ trainer, and just to come here this weekend and this amazing setup is really cool. Yeah, I'm hoping to win the MX Nationals and hopefully the ONK is a European Championships.
So here we go for the GAERNE Big Wheel 85s. Into the first corner they go. KTM with the whole shot, couldn't quite identify the rider, but looks like a good clean start around that first corner. They go past the pit area, charging into that second corner. A good start, absolutely essential. Trouble in the midfield as several riders go down. So he takes an absolute flyer, but all the riders okay as the leaders make their way up towards the tabletop for the first time. Very, very close start at the front, and looks like most of the top names have gone away well at the front. As one rider nearly got into a bit of trouble there in the midfield, but nonetheless, apart from those riders on the second corner melee, they all seem to get away quite cleanly. Looks like one of the Team Green riders there, quite well placed, could well be Lewis Hall, who's been looking very strong in the pre-season and is throwing down a marker in this final motor. Of course, this big wheel 85cc class stacked with riding talent, with a lot of top riders in there, the likes of Joel RIZZI we spoke to earlier, of course, and Sam Price, Sam Nunn, the rider there who's up from the small 85cc class, and be interested to see how Sam Nunn gets on in his first year in the big wheels. Sam Price, another rider who seems to do well in the sand and surely cannot be discounted for the overall win. It looks like Joel RIZZI has taken the lead. Could have been Rossi Beard possibly. It looked like he was well placed in the early stages. The midfield riders making their way around for the first time, fighting for position, as one rider in a bit of trouble there, number 8 there, the rider of Ollie Cole, had a bit of a wobble but looks like he's okay, and it's a Kawasaki at the front. Only just so, because Joel RIZZI snatches the lead, and the second place rider on the Kawasaki, Lewis Hall, the Team Green Monster Energy Kawasaki rider there, briefly took the lead and now goes down into second place. And your new race leader, 912, Joel RIZZI, and there he goes into the top corner alongside the GAERNE banners. Here we are at the very top of the circuit as we enter the final stage of the opening lap. Joel RIZZI leads the way, but right on his tail in second place, number 419, Lewis Hall, round the outside he goes. Does he make the pass stick? Yes, he does. He holds that inside line, but RIZZI has another look around the outside, but the race leader now, Lewis Hall, he's got that inside line, made the pass stick, and the new race leader, number 419, the machine of Lewis Hall, with Joel RIZZI, 912, right on his tail. Could well be Sam Price, and Sam Nunn also well placed in the chasing pack. With 419, the machine there of Lewis Hall, gets up on the pegs, charges round that third corner on the 85cc Kawasaki, a little bit cross-rutted there on the top tabletop, but he saved it well and didn't lose any time. So Joel RIZZI on the RFX KTM in second place, and let's see if he can fight back. There goes Hall and RIZZI right on his tail. And then the rest of the field making their way through. Looks like Sam Price, I think it was, in fourth place. Sam Nunn also in there as well. The rest of the front runners make their way through on the opening few laps. Another few riders well placed there. Casey Hurd, Kyle McNichol, Gary Ashley also in the action there as well, with Sam Don and Thomas Andrew, Todd Ledbetter also in there as well, disputing the remainder of the top 10 positions. But now with a clean track in front of him, you can see the machine there of Lewis Hall taking the inside line through that really gnarly inside line berm, and Joel RIZZI losing a little bit of ground. You can see there's a bit of a track alteration there. The rider's turning right, where that part of the track really is very soft and gnarly indeed, and some of the 85s were struggling, so they have cut that part of the course out. But apart from that, exactly the same track, of course, that the pro riders, who we'll see a bit later on in the show, they'll be out on the track a bit later on as well. And Preston Docks, really tough sand track It's really cut up and gnarly in places. You can see just how much of a physical test it is for the riders. The track, as always, prepped to perfection. We saw Sam Price there going through in 4th place, just behind this leading group. Looks like it could possibly be Sam Nunn, Casey Hurd also in there as well. As one rider stalled the machine there, one of our front runners, and that might have been Sam Price or Joel RIZZI. I don't think it's RIZZI because that's him there in 2nd place. As Lewis Hall, 419, starts to close up on the back markers. You can see the rider just at the top of the screen there, in last place at the rear of the field at the moment, being closed on now by Lewis Hall, who goes past the finish line, but he can't afford to relax because the KTM in 2nd place looks like it's still the RFX KTM with Joel RIZZI in 2nd place. Very, very closely fought indeed. And there they go, 1st and 2nd, barely a 2.5 in it at the moment as they go over the first tabletop once again, charging over that tabletop through those gnarly ruts you can see there just on the bottom of the screen. And the riders having to keep the momentum up and not make a mistake through there because they could have a nasty fall if they get that line choice wrong. So Lewis Hall went on to pull away to take the victory, but the overall results, Joel RIZZI it was that took the overall win from Lewis Hall, Sam Price, Sam Nunn and Casey Hurd in 5th. You're watching the Michelin MX Nationals. You're watching the Michelin MX Nationals. Welcome back to the MX Nationals at Preston Docks, and we start this half with the RFX Junior Clubman race, and again a packed field of riders charging through the first corner. Everyone seems to have got through safely. They pile into that 2nd corner, and as you can imagine, with the track looking very, very rough in places, a good start, absolutely essential. They all seem to get through the first few corners cleanly. And away they go for the first lap. Now this Junior Clubman class open to adult riders of various ability levels. A few riders taking a tumble on the tabletop there, but looks like everybody's safe. But as we were saying, they're open to riders of got varying ability levels. You've got some top expert riders in this class as well. The top riders perhaps knocking on the door of the expert cup races that we'll see a bit later on. But this MX National Series, the Clubman class, allows your average weekend warrior riders the chance to compete in a full-on professional race meeting, and this class, once again, like many of the other classes, has been pretty much fully subscribed. A full gate of riders at this first round of the series at Preston Docks, and there's been some fantastic racing. The overall series looks very much wide open at the moment in this class as 14 Sean Ratcliffe there taking lead. 107 also well placed there. That was the Husqvarna there, Sean Barnsdale, who's had his moments at the front as well and is well in contention for the overall victory. The midfield riders charging through for the first time. Don't forget, of course, these riders done 3 motos already this weekend. Very tough conditions. We said early on, of course, the track was under 3 inches of snow at the start of the weekend on Friday, and everyone working around the clock on Friday just to make sure this event goes ahead, as number 14 still leads the way. That's the machine of Sean Ratcliffe. Took a moto win earlier this weekend, and he's had a bit of mixed form over the weekend, but now looking very strong in this final moto. And you can see, looking at the tabletop, just how rough these takeoffs are. The track has been graded throughout the day to make it safe and rideable, but doesn't stop it from being tough. And you can see just how gnarly those ruts are as we go into these closing races of the weekend, and a full, exciting weekend of race action so far. Barnsdale starting to pull away a bit now at the end of the first few laps. Got a clean track in front of him, of course, and there he goes up on the pegs, round the outside there, letting that machine do all the work as he goes over the tabletop. As he one of the back markers shakes his head. I think he's had enough this weekend, and it's been a tough weekend for him, as it has for all the other riders. Sean Barnsdale, no problems him at all. Number 14 really starting to pull away a bit now from the leading competitors. Got Ryan King in there, Harry Fletcher, Josh Canton also running well. Ryan King looks like he's on the move there, number 16, as he starts to pull his way back towards the front runners. Barnsdale, 14, still leads the way, and now you can see the gap starting to open up. And there's number 16, that's the rider on the move at the moment, Ryan King, who goes and sets the fastest lap of the race, 2:23.877. He's through to 2nd place, and Ryan King, he's starting to put the race leader under some pressure. Number 14, Sean Ratcliffe, there he is. He's led pretty much from the start of this race, but look out for the 2nd place rider, number 16, Ryan King, who is now clean in 2nd place. Ratcliffe paddles through the outside berm, gets back on the power on the KTM. Again, standing up into the corner, making the suspension, the machine do all the work, and now hard on the power as he goes back towards that tabletop, picks his line and flies over the jump. There we see number 16, the jersey, in second place. 171 also well placed there. That's Talon Aston as well, who's been up amongst the front runners all weekend, but can't quite live with the second place rider, Ryan King, as we cut back to number 14, the race leader, Sean Radcliffe. But all the time, Ryan King is closing up. We go into the final few corners. These final two hairpin corners pretty much 180 degrees back on themselves, and you can see these inside lines, how tough and deep they are on the inside. The riders really do have to keep the momentum up in those inside lines, because any kind of a mistake and they'll be down. Don't forget, of course, that if the riders fall off, the energy levels to pick the bike back up again, the concentration, it really affects the riders' rhythm. So they'll be looking to keep it nice and clean, but no problems at all for number 14, Sean Radcliffe. He looks like he's starting to pull away a bit now from Ryan King in second place. And again, we see the standing water at the side of the track. Just goes to show how wet it is in places. The paddock very waterlogged in places as well. It's been a tough weekend for the riders off the track, but the race action here has been absolutely fantastic. As we see, Ryan King still there in second place, Talon Aston there, 171 in third place, and then the chasing pack there, Harry Fletcher, Josh Canton, Ollie Kirby, Callum Pridle also in there as well. And Ryan King goes round the outside to take the lead, and Ryan King holds on to take the final moto win. But it was an overall result for Sean Barnsdale over the weekend, your overall winner, with Josh Canton in second, Harry Fletcher third, Sean Radcliffe in fourth, and Ryan King with that final moto win takes fifth overall. We'll shortly be underway with our premier youth class, the MXY2. But firstly, let's look at the second of our featured riders, none other than Ben Clark, one of the top riders in the class, to be going for glory in 2016. And let's join Ben as he talks about his pre-season preparations and what he thinks of the Preston Docks track and his weekend so far.
Yeah, this is my first race on the 125. First race, didn't go to plan really. Had a few silly mistakes, but ended up 25th out of everyone. And then moved on to the second race on Saturday and finished 13th, which was good. And I was the fourth 125, which is my aim to be one of the highest on the 125. And then Sunday, today, went out for starting lap, feeling good. And then went off the line, had a good start, finished 12th in that one. Yeah, it was real wet when I turned up Friday, but you weren't allowed to walk it, so it was a bit difficult to go out in practice, but I'm quite good in the wet, so it's all right out there. And it's got rougher as the day goes on, which I like as well, and find quite good. Moved up early because I was getting too big for the 85 and really enjoying the 125. And my goals are this year is to do well in the BY, do well at this and do well in the Maxis. It's just really a learning curve this year, and then hoping for better results again the following season on a 125.
So welcome back to our youth classes with the Talon MXY2 riders going into the first corner. We have a mixture of the 2-strokes and the 4-strokes in this class, and this is the final youth class for the riders progress to the adult ranks as they go around the first few corners. With a bar banging near the back of the field there, 1 or 2 riders fighting for position, all very, very close indeed, and taking the lead, I think. We'll confirm in a few moments. It looks like number 41, Alexander Brown, Dexter Douglas, number 171 in second place, and the likes of Michael Ellis, Taylor Hamill, Jamie Carpenter also well placed. Most of the front runners getting away well on that first start of the race there, of course, through the first few corners safely. And looks like a good clean start there. All the riders seem to have filed into position and no accidents or spills on the first lap. That, of course, could be important for the front runners later on in the race, of course, because with less riders dropping behind early on, they might get perhaps an extra lap or two with a clean track in front. But that does look like Alexander Brown leading the way. Dexter Douglas in second place. There he goes, number 171, the second place machine. And Jamie Carpenter in third place. Number 184, Dylan Woodcock also in there as well, number 60. Formerly was one of the top 85cc riders, runner-up in last year's big wheel 85cc class, and now making the switch to the MXYZ. One or two notable names actually going through to the big wheels this year. Dylan Woodcock on the Monster Energy Team Green machine, and the Honda UK Rookies rider, number 11, Jack Bincliffe, who took a moto win last year and won the Grand Prix in his class at the Belgian Grand Prix at Lommel last year. So Bincliffe one to look out for, but at the front at the moment, number 41, the machine of Alexander Brown, leads the way. Dexter Douglas in second place. And those two starting to break away from the rest of the field, with Michael Ellis, Taylor Handmill, Jamie Carpenter also in there as well. There's Carpenter in third place. Looked like Bincliffe going over the tabletop there. We just saw him out of shot. He's currently in around sixth place as one rider goes down on that top corner. KTM machine going down there. Our midfield riders then making their way through for the first lap. One or two spills on the first lap, but no problems for number 41, Alexander Brown, who leads the way. It's 171, Dexter Douglas still in second place. Here comes Brown hard on the power once again on the Pika Husqvarna, rails that berm around the outside and starts to pull away. He goes flying over the tabletop. Now the gap really starting to increase between first and second, who are starting to, in turn, to pull away from the rest of the field. Michael Ellis, Taylor Hamill, Jamie Carpenter, Jack Bincliffe also in there. Carpenter, I think, still in third place, and there he is just coming into shot now, number 184 on the Phoenix Honda. Looks like it's Michael Ellis in fourth place. And there's Jack Bincliffe, number 11. He's currently in fifth place, the Honda Rookies rider. Last year's Big Wheel 85cc champion, acquitted himself well to the MXYZ ranks. We wait for our leaders to come round to complete their second lap in the middle of the course now, headed by number 41, Alexander Brown. And there he is, around the inside line. Comes through into shots, a quick glance behind him, and I'm sure he could just about see number 171, Dexter Douglas, in second place, who is still keeping the pressure on in second. Carpenter in third, Ellis in fourth, and still Bincliffe in fifth. So the top five starting to settle into rhythm now. Taylor Hamill, 575. He's well placed and on the move up towards the top few positions as well, along with Charlie Cole, Dylan Woodcock in there as well, Billy Kin and Jed Etchells, number 789, another one of the Team Green riders. For 41, Alexander Brown starting to pull away a bit now from Dexter Douglas in second place. Brown gets back on the power once again, like most of the riders up on the pegs, making the bike do all the work, which is absolutely essential in most race conditions, but even more so in the sand with these gnarly braking bumps. You'll see the machine there, the suspension of that bike bottoming out under the pressure on those braking bumps. Alexander Brown leads across the top veranda, through the ruts he goes, keeps the momentum going and looks very strong at the front as Dexter Douglas chasing there in second place, but can't quite live with Alexander Brown at the moment. And Brown had some bike trouble early this weekend, but really has fought back well as he looks to try and snatch this overall race victory at the first round here at Preston Docks. Alexander Brown took the final moto win, but it was Michael Ellis who took the overall victory from Taylor Hamill. Alexander Brown took third overall, Dexter Douglas fourth, and Dylan Woodcock in fifth. You're watching the Michelin MX Nationals. You're watching the Michelin MX Nationals. Welcome back to the MX Nationals with the Bell Expert Cup MX1 riders going into the first corner. Mostly 454 strokes in this race, with the odd 252 stroke in there as well, but predominantly it's very much a 454 stroke class. And as they make their way around the second corner, charging their way through, it could well be Sean Southgate with the whole shot. The Hearts MX riders, actually. Sean Southgate, one of those team riders. They've had a good weekend so far, and they're looking very strong as one or two of the back markers paddle their way through those ruts. Leaders now making their way round towards the very top of the course for the first time. Looks like another good clean start. Everyone seems to be getting through those first few corners safely. And Sean Southgate, Luke Parker also well placed from Ryan Crowder, making their way up towards the very far end of the course. They disappear out of the view for the majority of spectators, and this part of the track now really is going to test the riders to the limit there. The skill levels, you can see just how rough and gnarly and rutted the track is. But Sean Southgate, I believe, looking strong. 49, Luke Parker actually could well be the race leader, with Sean Southgate in there as well, but Luke Parker, the early race leader. Sean Southgate, Ryan Crowder in there as well, number 4, as the midfield riders make their way through for the first time. Battling for early position, points going all the way down to 20th place. So even for the midfield runners, this race just as important as it would be for the front runners as well. But Sean Southgate and Luke Parker looking like the early pace setters. There he is, number 49, Luke Parker, and his fellow HMX rider, Sean Southgate, 3:01 in second place. So here comes Parker, 49 on the 450 Honda. Takes the tight inside line. Southgate in second place, 3:01. And the rest of the field go through there. There's Henry Siddiqui, number 131, who's acquitted himself well to the MX1 machine. And Siddiqui started last year in the MX Youth 2 class, but quite a big rider, and he made the jump straight to the 450 pretty much, and really is acquitting himself well to that big KTM 450, and is emerging as an early, perhaps a early pre-season favourite, you might say, in the MX1 expert class. Certainly there amongst the front runners, but at the moment, looks like Luke Parker with the early lead, but Southgate right on his tail in second place. So the duo of Honda 450s lead the way round after the first lap. Parker holds the inside line. Southgate chasing in second place. There he is, number 49, Luke Parker. Goes round the outside, up on the pegs, making that bike do all the work as he goes flying over the tabletop. Southgate in second. Then the rest of the field chasing away. And you can see, looking at the field there, just how wet the fields are around here. It really goes to show how tough this circuit is for this opening round. It could well be Ryan Crowder in there as well. Henry Siddiqui goes through in fourth place. We've got Luke Gidney, Jordan Scott, Ben Cole, Ty Kellett, I believe, also in there as well amongst the front runners. Luke Parker again through this really tough, fast section of the course. Very, very rutted indeed in the wet sand. Luke Parker, 49, as one rider looks like got some bike trouble, pushing the machine off to the side of the course, but nothing at all troubling Luke Parker, except, of course, for number 3:01, Sean Southgate in second place. Number 4 there, the machine of Ryan Crowder in third. Henry Siddiqui, 131, still in fourth place, and I think that's Luke Gidney in fifth place, number 258. Then the rest of the field chasing away there, just a little bit further behind, but now the top 5 really starting to break away from the rest of the field as we go in towards the midsection of the race. Oh, and a wobble there though for 49, the race leader. There he is again, Luke Parker. Small mistake for him, that's allowing Sean Southgate to start to close up. And it looks like Parker there, a little bit ragged, making quite a few mistakes there. And now all of a sudden, the gap has gone to pretty much nothing now as Sean Southgate, number 3:01 in second place, starts to close up. And really starting to put his fellow Honda rider under some pressure now as those two riders make their way up towards the finish line. And you can see just how tough this circuit is, really deep, gnarly ruts on the inside line there as some of our midfield runners making their way through. But at the front now, Parker riding defensively, holding the inside lines. Oh, and he nearly stalled the machine there. We saw him catch the braking bump. So it looks like at the moment, Luke Parker, number 49, your race leader, having to really work hard. He had a bad lap there, made quite a few mistakes, and has now allowed Sean Southgate to close right up in second place. But now it looks like Parker has regained his composure, gets back on the power on that Honda 450, and really starting to increase the gap now. And you can see the gap now really starting to draw out a bit now between first and second place. Those two riders really have gone now from the rest of the field. I think it's Ryan Crowder in third place. Yes, indeed, it is. There he is. He's still in third place, but dropping behind a bit now and coming under pressure from Henry Siddiqui, 131. As we said earlier, his debut full season in the MX1 class, formerly an MX Youth 2 rider, and really starting to cope on that big 450 machine. But now it looks like Southgate, 3:01, has closed up again. And this MX1 Expert Cup final moto looking really very close indeed. Luke Parker still leads the way, and Southgate closing up all the time. It looks like Southgate appears quicker on this middle section of the course. We started on the lap then with the front two riders neck and neck for the lead. 49, Luke Parker, 3:01, Sean Southgate in second. There they go, pretty much neck and neck, and this race really starting to close up now. Southgate tries the outside line, but Parker's got that inside line, holds the inside line, and Southgate not quite with the momentum to get through. He's having another look again. They go up towards the very top of the course now, and they go across this top veranda section towards the finish line. And Sean Southgate took the final moto win and the overall from Luke Parker in second place, Henry Siddiqui third, Ryan Crowder fourth, and Ty Kellett fifth overall. The Expert Cup classes in the MX1 and MX2 classes cater for some of the top amateur riders in the UK, just one step below the pro ranks. We join the third of our featured riders, who is Luke Mellows. Luke Mellows races the MX2 Expert Cup and is a well-renowned amateur rider, one of the top riders in the UK in the MX2 class. Let's join Luke as he talks about his pre-season preparations and his weekend so far.
Okay, so I had a really good start, come out in the top 3. That's really important here because track's quite one-liney in places. But I think early on in the race I got a bit of memory loss. I don't know if I've hit my head a bit heavy, but earlier in the race crashed over the back. I've caught my elbow as well. I don't really know what happened there, but just got back on and tried to make up everything I can, really. I think I ended up about 13th in that race, but a bit disappointed, obviously. You need to be running at the top, and obviously was, and then crashed, so try and turn it around in the next one.
So here we go with the Fly Racing Expert Cup MX2. Into the first corner they go. And another good start there as the riders make their way into the second corner. Most of the riders riding the 250cc 4-stroke machines. Looks like a KTM with the whole shot, and I think it's number 15, Henry Williams. Josh Coleman, Jansen Day also in there as well. We'll confirm who it is that leads round in just a few moments' time when they settle down. I think that might well have been Luke Mellows. I already spoke to him. Looks like he's well placed up amongst the front runners as well. Jansen Day, Zach Steely in there as well. So as the midfield riders battle their way through, KTM starting to pull away at the front. We'll confirm that right in a moment. It looks like Henry Williams, the winner of last year's MX2 class, and this his first full season in the adult ranks in the MX2 Expert Cup. Very, very closely fought class. Quite a few riders in there with a shout at the title this year, but the leaders making their way around towards the centre of the course. One rider left behind on the right of the shot there as they make their way through. 66 is in second place, Josh Coleman. See Zach Steely, Charlie Hamlet also in there as well. Luke Steely goes through. Jansen Day, number 6, winner of the first moto this weekend. He's also in there as well, just on the fringes of the top 10. But Williams, number 15, your early race leader. There he goes, number 15 on the RFX KTM. And here he comes up towards the final few corners to complete his opening lap. Henry Williams, he's been there or thereabouts all weekend, really has been amongst the front runners. Had a couple of bad starts over the weekend, but this time he gets away well, and he'll be looking to control this race from the front. He starts to pull away a bit now from Josh Coleman in second place, but Coleman still keeping the pressure on in second place, having a great final moto to the weekend. Number 66, the machine there in second of Josh Coleman. Leaf fall going through as one rider takes a tumble, loses the front end. Number 37 that was that went down. That's Connor Dennis, but gets back on the bike and straight into the action. Still plenty of time for Connor Dennis to make an impact in the midfield as he looks to pick his way back into the top 20. But no problems at all for Henry Williams, number 15, your race leader. Clean track in front of him. There's Josh Coleman just at the bottom of the screen there in second place. And this drone camera read giving us some fantastic aerial footage of the Preston Dock circuit as Williams leads them over the tabletop once again. A little bit of a gap there from Coleman in second place. And then the chasing pack making their way through there. Looks like Jansen Day, Zach Steely, Ben Franklin, number 300, also well placed as Williams starts to pull away. And then the rest of the field, the midfield runners in the fringe of the top 10. There's Luke Mellows, 44, the rider who we spoke to at the start of this feature. He's running well. He looks like he's just on the fringes of the top 10, battling there with Jordan Keogh, Adam Wells, John Waghorn and Sean Pierce, also in there in that midfield scrap as well. But Williams, number 15, there he goes, your race leader. Clean track in front of him, starting to pull away a bit now from Josh Coleman. I think Joe Jeffries in there as well, 751. He's looking strong as well in these opening stages. There goes Jansen Day, number 6, winner of the first moto. Adam Wells, we just saw there, 156. And then the midfield runners making their way through. Henry Williams, though, on the RFX KTM, your race leader, looking very strong indeed. Josh Coleman still charging in second place, but can't quite live with the race leader, number 15, Henry Williams. There he is once again. Takes the inside line through that middle chicane. Gets down into the inside line through the ruts and powers away up towards the far tabletop. Josh Coleman in second place. And the rest of the field charging through. There's 171, Zach Steely, closely followed by number 14, Charlie Hamlet. But Henry Williams takes the final victory and the overall win from Jansen Day second overall, Zach Steely third, Charlie Hamlet fourth, and Adam Wells in fifth. You're watching the Michelin MX Nationals. You're watching the Michelin MX Nationals.
We just want to go out there and try and get a good start and put our authority down and show that we can that we're going to be number one.
But, you know, I'll try my best, and the first couple of laps I'll just get stuck in and see how it goes. As you said, you know, it's pretty deep out there in places, but you know, hopefully first couple of laps use my head, and then I'll see where I'm at and get the hammer down.
But I've only just come back as well from injury. It's probably my fourth or fifth time from riding in 11-12 weeks or something, so it's going to be a bit difficult for me for bike fitness and stuff, but good start and we should be there.
Yeah, I'm looking at coming away with two solid races and just to start the season off as a good warm-up, but like all 39 other riders on the gate, I'm here to win, so we'll do our best.
And here we go with our final race of the day, the PROX Racing Pro MX1, MX2 class, as Christian Whatley gets the whole shot. One rider goes down on the first corner. It looks like a Bill Base Honda 1-2 as Christian Whatley leads from the first moto winner. Graham Irwin in second place, Brad Anderson in third by the looks of things, as leaders go over the tabletop for the first time. And this, the race everyone's been waiting for, and this will be the hardest race of the afternoon. The track has seen a full weekend of race action here at the MX Nationals, and now, as you can see, the sun's starting to dip a bit now as well. Early springtime, of course, and the sun could be an issue because it's very low and very difficult for the riders actually to see in parts of the course with the low sunlight, seeing where exactly the ruts are. So this looks set to be a really tough race for these pro riders. The MX1 and MX2 riders out together, but they are scored separately in terms of the championship. And leading the way is our reigning MX1 series winner, Christian Whatley. Had a great season last year and won the title at the final round at Canada Heights in the 2015 season, but not been such a good winter preparation when he struggled with injury, and in the first moto really had to battle through the field to grab some points. But no stopping Graham Irwin in the first moto, looking to try and make it 2 wins out of 2, but he's got his teammate to deal with, Christian Whatley. And as we said, of course, he has had troubles with injury, but nonetheless, he's cleared away at the front. Now there he is, number 227. Your race leader, Christian Whatley, son, of course, of the famous 250 and 500cc Grand Prix rider Jeremy Whatley. And Christian certainly has carved out a niche in his own pro career. Certainly one of the top riders in the UK, and armed on the Bill Base Honda. Mentored, of course, that team by none other than David Thorpe, the 3-times World 500 champion. And Bill Base Honda, really a team that could be in contention for domestic honours this year. It's a 1-2 at the front at the MX Nationals as Liam Garland goes down there, 24, taking a big spill. And I think he was winded there a bit, but he's okay, gets the goals on, but Garland looks like he's out of the race early on. No problems at the front, though, for the Bill Base team, as Whatley leads 227. Number 5, Graham Irwin still in second place. Anderson, number 60 on the Verdi Sports KTM, in third place. But your race leader, Christian Whatley, over the tabletop he goes, but Irwin keeping the pressure on in second place. And there's Anderson in third. Looks like Ashley Wild in fourth. Gert Krestinoff in fifth. And here they go. It's really starting to tighten up at the front now as Whatley starts to wind the screw a bit now in second place and puts his teammate Christian Whatley under pressure up the front. And now they're dicing for the lead now into the very far end of the course. And it looks like Irwin may have taken the lead. It's very, very close indeed. Let's wait and see when they come back towards us. But now a real scrap at the front as Graham Irwin looks to try and make it 2 wins out of 2. And let's see if he's taken the lead. Whatley still in second as Garland gets some medical attention. He came up on the first lap, of course, but now Irwin has taken the lead. Whatley in second. There's Anderson still in third place. Ashley Wild in fourth, and Gert Krestinoff still in fifth place. Martin Barr a little bit further back there Elliot Banks-Brown also well placed as well, but Martin Barr, another of the Bill Base riders, leads the MX2 charge. It looks like Nathan Dixon, the RFX KTM rider, currently second now to the MX2 riders. We're at the front now. MX1 really starting to close up now as Graham Irwin takes the lead. And can he pull away? Graham Irwin, there he is, number 5, your race leader. The Ulsterman really is the informed rider at this opening round of the MX Nationals, the fastest rider in the morning qualifying session. Took the first moto win quite convincingly, and now starting to pull away from Christian Whatley as he looks to make it 2 wins out of 2. There's Martin Barr, number 50, the leader of the MX2 class. Number 66, Lewis Toombs, also in there as well, running strongly in the top 10. And then our midfield riders making their way through. There's number 6, Carlton Husband, the Northeasterner, another of the Phoenix Honda riders. And here come our leaders to complete another lap. It's still Irwin leads, Whatley second, Anderson in third. Graham Irwin starting to pull away a bit now as they go past the finish line. There's Whatley still in second place, but can't live with his teammates at the moment. Graham Irwin, number 5, looking for a clean sweep. 2 moto wins would be great for him as he looks to really challenge his teammate for the MX1 crown. There he goes, Irwin. Whatley second, still Anderson in third, and there we see number 704, the Geartech Yamaha rider of Ashley Wild, still there in 4th place. So it's Irwin, Whatley, Anderson, Wild, Krestinoff there, number 37, and Gert Krestinoff, a winner several years ago of the MX2 Grand Prix at Lommel. This track not quite as deep as Lommel, but certainly a lot of the riders say it's reminiscent of the Honda Park circuit over at Barlen in Belgium. As we look at the top of the course there, Anderson out of nowhere goes through into second place, and Brad Anderson, the Northeasterner from Tulare in County Durham, switching to the Verdi Sports KTM this year, and really seems to have acquitted himself well to that KTM. He was in great form a few weeks ago at the Hawkstone Park International, running with some of the world's best. And Anderson out of nowhere really seems to have found a spurt of speed. He's starting to close up actually on Irwin slightly, and Irwin, as we said, the informed rider, looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 this weekend. He still controls it at the front, but Anderson, now could Anderson be starting to stake his claim for the victory in second place? There he is. And as we're saying, Anderson really does seem to have acquitted himself well to that Verdi Sports KTM. The Verdi Sports sponsor actually not too far away from here at Preston in Lancashire, and I'm sure they would love it if Anderson can bring it home. Anderson, as we spoke to him earlier, he's a northern rider, of course, from County Durham, and a lot of his local fans here today. Preston Docks here in Lancashire, Northern Circuit, of course, and not too far away for some of his northern contingent. Some of the midfield riders going through there. There's Lewis Toombs, 66. 162, Stuart Emmons, number 6, Carlton Husband also in there as well. But at the front though, Irwin, he's in a no-nonsense mood and maintains that gap at the front. Goes through past the finish line for another lap, and look at the crowds here. We've had some difficult weather this weekend. It's very, very cold, I can assure you as well, but nonetheless, fantastic turnout of supporters for this great opening round of the 2016 MX National Series. And Graham Irwin still leads the way on the Bill Base Honda, looking to make it 2 wins out of 2, but Anderson, he cannot be discounted in second place. Christian Whatley still chasing in third place, but he can't live with Brad Anderson. There goes Whatley. It's still Ashley Wild on the Geartech Yamaha in 4th place. Gert Krestinoff, number 37, on the Phoenix Honda, the Estonian rider. He's currently in 5th place. And Anderson starting to close up, got a great line down the inside. He passed Whatley there before, and he has a look down the inside of Irwin, but Irwin shuts the door on him. But Anderson doesn't care, he goes down the inside again. But again, Irwin shuts that door on him, and Irwin really coming under pressure now as Anderson goes down the inside, and Brad Anderson takes the lead from Graham Irwin in second place. And a brave move there down the inside from Anderson, forced his way down the inside, and Anderson takes the lead. Irwin now watching in second place, perhaps looking at some of those lines. Anderson seems quicker on this far end of the course. He goes down the inside line a lot, and it seems very, very quick indeed. So let's see what happens now. Anderson has got the lead and starting to pull away. So let's see what happens in this second half of the race. Will Anderson continue to pull away, or Irwin perhaps will be trying to watch the lines, maybe see if he can suss out Anderson and maybe make a pass later on? But I'm sure Anderson, he won't want to give up that lead now. He seems to have really picked up the pace as we went into the middle part of the race, and now through into the lead. Got a clean track in front of him, and actually looks like he's starting to pull away a bit now from Irwin. There's Irwin in second place, but a small mistake there from Anderson. Anderson makes a small mistake in the rut, and that allows Irwin to close back up again. They go flying along the top randa past the spectators there by the GAERNE banners. towards the end of the lap into these really tight hairpins now. They go tight left, tight right, but Anderson emerges at the end of that lap, still leading the way. Over the tabletop he goes. IRWIN second place, and IRWIN starting to close up a bit now. We go to the very far end of the course now, and this is where Anderson's quick. And so Brad Anderson leads the way and holds on to take the second moto win, but it was Graham IRWIN with the overall win. Anderson settles for second, Christian Whatley third, Ashley Wild fourth, Martin Barr was fifth overall and the first of the MX2 riders.
So winner of the MX2 Pro class. Now Martin, give me a bit of a recap on your day.
It's been brilliant. Couldn't ask for much more. Quickest in qualifying and 2 race wins. It's been a perfect start to the season. So yeah, my Bill-based Honda's been working absolutely fantastic. My dad's on doing my engine tuning at MB Performance Racing and has got it working really, really good. My suspension guy, Scott Gardner from Planet Suspension, has the bike working and handling really good as well. So I'm in a happy place right now, and I just want to keep the whole ball rolling. I've had a really good off-season, and it's shown today.
So first overall at the first round of MX Nationals of Preston Docks was none other than Graham IRWIN here, who took a win in the first moto, second in race number 2. And overall, do you think it's been a good day for you?
Yeah, overall it's been a good day. Walking away with first is it's always a good day when that happens. But I'm a bit gutted I didn't win the second race. But it's still championship, lead now, and that's the main thing, especially going into the next couple of races. I think we're going to get stronger, and it's looking good from here.
And motor number 1 got away well in second place and started to clear away early on in the race. All went to plan.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how the first one went. I thought I could just get a good start. I knew it was going to be a hard place to pass. I could pass Jake, and I just concentrated on my own race. Second race, with the sun, you could have just ended your season right there. And I wasn't too sure how hard to push, so I jumped. I was going to jump out the back that Brad was jumping. I wasn't, so he got by me. But then, changed it up, and I found a couple of fast lines, and I ended up opposite. I was faster than him, and then it came down to the last lap. Actually, I put a harder charge on the last lap, but it didn't happen. I still ended up second, but oh well. First overall, that's the main thing.